Have you ever noticed how some things in your home just take up space, but you can't seem to let them go? As the years go by, it's easy for clutter to build up. Old furniture, stacks of papers, sentimental items tucked away in corners. But here's the truth before you turn 70. There are certain household items you must declutter, and doing so isn't just about making space. It's about creating a home that feels lighter, easier to manage, and more in tune with the life you want to live. In this video, we're diving into 6 specific household items that are weighing you down more than you realize. Whether it's things you've held on to out of habit, outdated belongings that no longer serve you, or objects that quietly add stress to your daily routine, you'll discover why letting go of them can bring you unexpected relief. And more importantly, you'll learn how decluttering these items isn't about loss, it's about freedom. Now let's get started. Number 1, worn out and unused furniture. One of the biggest culprits of household clutter is old, worn out furniture that no longer serves you. Over the years, it's easy to accumulate extra chairs, tables, and cabinets, pieces that might have been useful at one point, but now sit unused, taking up valuable space. And the truth is, holding on to furniture that is no longer functional or comfortable isn't just a physical burden, it can also create unnecessary stress. Think about it. That bulky recliner in the corner that no one sits in, the oversized dining table that hasn't been used for a big family gathering in years, the dresser with sticky drawers that frustrates you every time you try to open it. These things aren't adding to your life. They're just filling space. And as you get older, having too much furniture can actually make your home harder to navigate, increasing the risk of bumping into things, tripping, or simply feeling overwhelmed by too much stuff. Take Frank, for example. He's 74 and has lived in the same house for decades. Over the years, he collected furniture, some inherited, some purchased, some given to him by friends. At one point, his home felt cozy, but as time went on, he started to notice something. Moving around his house became more difficult, cleaning took longer, and certain rooms felt more like storage spaces than places to relax. It wasn't until his daughter visited and casually pointed out that he had 5 chairs in his living room, only 2 of which were ever used, that he realized it was time to make a change. So he did something bold. He started with one room, choosing to let go of the items that no longer served a real purpose. The broken chair with the wobbly leg, gone. The massive coffee table that made walking through the room a hassle, out the door. And as he cleared each piece, he felt something unexpected: relief. His home felt more open, more inviting, and most importantly, easier to live in. That's the thing about furniture. When it's useful, it enhances your life. But when it becomes nothing more than extra weight, it quietly drains your energy and makes your space feel cluttered. And you don't need a house packed with furniture to make it feel like home. In fact, the less you have, the more you appreciate what remains. If you're holding on to furniture that's no longer serving you, ask yourself, when was the last time I actually used this? If you have to think about it, chances are it's time to let it go. Because a home that's easy to move through, clean, and truly enjoy is far more valuable than any unused chair or table taking up space. Number 2, clothes you never wear. At some point, we all hold on to clothing we no longer wear. Maybe it's a suit that hasn't fit in years, a dress you bought for a special occasion decades ago, or a pile of old t-shirts that sit untouched in your drawers. Whatever the case, before you turn 70, it's time to take a hard look at your wardrobe and ask yourself, do I really need all of this? Because the truth is, having a closet full of clothes you don't wear isn't just taking up space, it's adding unnecessary clutter to your life. Clothing has a way of holding memories. That jacket you wore to an important event, those jeans you used to love, but haven't worn in years, even those old shoes sitting at the bottom of your closet. You might not think about them much, but they're still there, quietly occupying space. And for many people, getting rid of old clothes feels like letting go of the past. But here's something to consider: your closet should reflect who you are today, not who you used to be. Take Linda, for example. At 72, she had a closet packed with clothes, but she only wore a handful of items regularly. She had dresses from the 80s, jackets she hadn't touched in decades, and shoes that looked nice, but hurt her feet every time she tried to wear them. Every morning, she'd stand in front of her closet, feeling frustrated by the sheer number of choices, most of which weren't even practical anymore. One day she decided to make a change. She pulled everything out of her closet and made 3 piles. One for clothes she loved and actually wore, one for clothes that no longer fit or felt comfortable, and one for items she was keeping just in case. That last pile was the hardest to deal with. But as she started letting go of things she hadn't worn in years, she realized something. She wasn't losing anything. She was gaining space, clarity, and a wardrobe that actually made her life easier. That's the key. When you declutter your clothes, you're not just getting rid of fabric, you're simplifying your daily routine. You make it easier to get dressed in the morning, easier to find what you actually enjoy wearing, and easier to move through life without unnecessary baggage. And the best part, someone else could be using those clothes. Instead of letting them sit in your closet, why not donate them to someone who needs them? So if your closet is overflowing with clothes you never wear, ask yourself, do I really need this? If it doesn't fit, if it's uncomfortable, or if you haven't worn it in years, it's time to let it go. Because at this stage in life, you deserve a wardrobe that works for you, not one that weighs you down. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now let's move forward. Number 3, expired medications and old toiletries. One of the most overlooked forms of household clutter is something you probably have sitting in your bathroom cabinet right now: expired medications and old toiletries. These items tend to pile up without us even realizing it. Maybe it's a bottle of pain relievers from years ago, half-used prescription medications you never finished, or skincare products you bought but never really liked. Before you know it, your drawers and cabinets are filled with things you no longer use. And worse, some of them could even be unsafe. Medications expire for a reason. Over time, their effectiveness weakens, and in some cases, they can even become harmful. Holding on to old prescriptions, just in case, might seem harmless, but the truth is, if you ever need that medication again, you should be consulting your doctor for a fresh prescription, one that is up to date and appropriate for your current health needs. And yet, so many of us keep bottles of expired pills tucked away, not realizing that they serve no real purpose, other than taking up space and adding unnecessary risk. Toiletries are no different. That old bottle of lotion you haven't used in years, that tube of sunscreen from who knows when, that perfume you stopped wearing a decade ago, these things don't last forever. Many people don't realize that skincare products and cosmetics also have expiration dates, and using them past their prime can lead to skin irritation or infections. And yet we hold on to them thinking we'll use them someday. But let's be honest, if you haven't used it in months or years, you're probably not going to. Take Robert, for example. He's 75 and takes pride in keeping his home organized. But one day while searching for a bandage, he opened his medicine cabinet and realized it was filled with bottles and boxes he hadn't touched in years. Expired painkillers, half-used tubes of antibiotic cream, a prescription for something he no longer even needed. It was all just sitting there. When he finally took the time to go through everything, he was shocked at how much he had been keeping just in case. And as he cleared it out, he felt a sense of relief, knowing that everything left in his cabinet was actually safe and useful. That's what many people don't realize. Decluttering your medications and toiletries isn't just about tidying up. It's about safety, about having what you actually need, and about letting go of the unnecessary. When you clear out expired medications, you make room for the ones you truly rely on. When you get rid of old toiletries, you simplify your daily routine and ensure that everything you use is fresh and effective. So if you haven't checked your medicine, cabinet, or bathroom drawers in a while, now is the time. Look through your medications. If it's expired, toss it safely. If it's a prescription you no longer need, dispose of it properly, instead of letting it sit. And when it comes to toiletries, be honest with yourself. If you haven't used it in over a year, you probably never will. Let it go and enjoy the simplicity of having only what you truly need. Number 4, old papers, documents, and unused mail. One of the most common forms of clutter, yet one of the easiest to ignore, is paper. Over the years, it accumulates in piles on tables, in drawers, inside old folders, and even in boxes stored away just in case. From outdated bills and expired warranties to instruction manuals for appliances, you no longer own. The amount of unnecessary paperwork in most homes is staggering. And before you turn 70, it's time to take control of it. Paper clutter isn't just about taking up space, it can actually cause stress. Think about how frustrating it is to search for an important document, only to dig through stacks of papers that should have been thrown away years ago. Or how overwhelming it feels when unopened mail piles up on the counter, making you feel like you're constantly behind on something. The reality is, most of the papers we keep are no longer necessary, and letting them go can bring an unexpected sense of relief. Take Barbara, for example. At 73, she had an entire filing cabinet filled with documents dating back decades. Old utility bills, receipts from purchases long forgotten, even tax returns from the 1980s. Papers that had been sitting there for years with no real reason to keep them. One day, as she struggled to find an important insurance document, she realized just how much of her paperwork was outdated and irrelevant. It took some time, but she decided to go through everything, keeping only the documents that actually mattered. By the time she was done, she had reduced her paperwork by more than half, and for the first time in years, she knew exactly where to find what she needed. That's the thing, when you declutter your papers, you're not just making space in your home, you're making space in your mind. You're freeing yourself from the mental clutter that comes with seeing piles of mail, stacks of outdated documents, and folders filled with things you'll never need again. And the best part? With today's technology, most important records can be accessed digitally, meaning you don't need to keep physical copies of everything. So how do you start? First, sort through your paperwork with a critical eye. If it's something you haven't looked at in years, chances are you don't need it. Shred old bank statements and expired contracts. Recycle manuals for appliances you no longer own. Keep only the essential legal, financial, and medical documents, and organize them in a way that makes them easy to access when you actually need them. And when it comes to mail, stop letting it pile up. Junk mail, toss it immediately. Bills, pay them and file only what's necessary. Newsletters or magazines you never read, cancel the subscriptions. The goal is simple, only keep the papers that truly serve a purpose, and let go of the rest. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, kitchen items you never use. The kitchen is one of the most cluttered areas in any home, and over time, it's easy to accumulate items that serve no real purpose. Cabinets filled with mismatched containers, drawers stuffed with utensils you never use, old pots and pans gathering dust before you turn 70. It's time to clear out the kitchen clutter that's making your space more chaotic than it needs to be. Many people hold on to kitchen items out of habit. Maybe it's a set of fancy dishes you've been saving for a special occasion that never comes, or small appliances you bought years ago but haven't touched since. You might even have 3 or 4 versions of the same tool, a collection of spatulas, multiple coffee mugs, or an overflowing drawer of plastic lids with no matching containers. But here's the truth, a kitchen filled with unused or unnecessary items doesn't make life easier, it makes it harder. Take George, for example. He's 76 and has lived in the same house for decades. Over the years, his kitchen filled up with gadgets and cookware he rarely used. There were blenders, food processors, and toasters that sat untouched. Plates and glasses, stacked high in cabinets, and drawers crammed with tools he didn't even remember buying. Every time he needed something, he had to dig through clutter just to find it. One day, after knocking over a pile of unused baking sheets while searching for a pan, he realized enough was enough. So, he made a decision. He went through his kitchen one section at a time, asking himself a simple question: do I actually use this? If the answer was no, he set it aside. Duplicates? Gone. Expired spices and pantry items? Tossed. That bread maker he bought years ago and used once? Donated. By the time he was finished, his kitchen felt like a completely different space, more functional, more organized, and, most importantly, easier to use. And that's the key. When you let go of kitchen items you never use, You create a space that works for you, not against you. Cooking becomes simpler, cleaning takes less time, and you no longer feel overwhelmed by cluttered countertops or stuffed cabinets. You don't need an overflowing kitchen to prepare good meals, you just need the essentials. So take a look around your kitchen. Open your cabinets, check your drawers, and ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? If it's been years, if it's just collecting dust, if it's something you're only keeping just in case, then it's time to let it go. Because a kitchen filled with only what you actually use isn't just easier to manage, it makes daily life smoother and more enjoyable. Number 6, sentimental items that no longer serve you. One of the hardest things to declutter is sentimental items. Old letters, gifts from loved ones, souvenirs from past vacations, or boxes filled with memories from decades ago. These things carry emotional weight, and that's why so many people struggle to let them go. But here's something to consider before you turn 70. It's important to ask yourself whether these sentimental objects are bringing you joy or simply taking up space. Many people hold on to sentimental items because they feel guilty about letting them go. A gift from a relative who has passed away, a stack of greeting cards from birthdays long ago, childhood keepsakes from your kids or grandkids. These things remind us of important moments, but they can also become overwhelming when they start piling up. The truth is, memories don't live in objects. They live in you. And keeping an excessive amount of sentimental clutter doesn't honor the past. It just makes your present more difficult to manage. Take Helen, for example. She's 78 and had been holding on to boxes and boxes of old letters, souvenirs, and keepsakes from different stages of her life. When she moved into a smaller home, she realized she had an entire storage unit filled with things she hadn't looked at in years. At first, the idea of getting rid of anything felt impossible. What if she forgot the memories attached to those items? What if letting go felt like erasing a part of her life? But then she made a shift. Instead of holding on to everything, she started being selective. She kept a few truly meaningful things. Her wedding album, a handful of letters from loved ones, a small collection of souvenirs that made her smile. The rest she let go. She donated items that could still be useful to others. She took photos of things she wanted to remember but didn't need to keep physically. And as she did, she felt something unexpected relief. That's what many people don't realize. Decluttering sentimental items doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means making space to fully enjoy the present. It means keeping the best and letting go of the rest. And it means choosing to surround yourself with things that bring you happiness rather than objects that weigh you down. So if you've been holding on to sentimental items that are more of a burden than a blessing, take a moment to reflect. Do you need to keep every letter, every souvenir, every keepsake to remember the people and experiences that shaped you? Or can you hold on to the memories in your heart while freeing up space in your home? Because at this stage in life, the most valuable things aren't the ones collecting dust. They're the ones that bring you peace and joy every single day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on the 6 household items we've discussed. Decluttering before you turn 70 isn't just about making space. It's about creating a home that feels lighter, easier to manage, and more in tune with the life you want to live. Each item you let go of isn't a loss. It's a step towards simplicity, clarity, and peace of mind. What stood out to you the most? Which of these items do you see in your own home? Maybe you've already started letting go of furniture that no longer serves you. Maybe you've realized how much easier life would be without the clutter of old papers, unused kitchen items, or sentimental objects that no longer bring you joy. Or maybe this video gave you a new perspective on why decluttering isn't just about things, it's about freedom. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.